check! It's English O'Clock! Ang pag-aaral ng English upang madaling matutunan, bakit hindi natin simplihan? Halika! Manood at makinig sa English Teacher ni Juan! Kung bago ka pa lang sa channel na to, huwag kang matakot! I made learning English easy for you! Please like, comment, and subscribe. At pakishare mo na rin sa iba para marami pang mga Juan na gaya mo ang matuto. Hi there, Grade 7! We are now on Week 5. Siguradong marami na naman kayong matututunan sa discussion natin today. Kaya naman, wag na nating patagalin pa. Our target learning competency for this video is identify one's meaning and purpose in selecting the type of literary text for composition. Ano nga ba ang kahulugan pag sinabing literary text o sa Filipino ay tekstong pampanitikan? A literary text is a written work that is primarily focused on artistic expression and storytelling. It uses language in creative, imaginative, or expressive ways to convey themes, emotions, or ideas. Literary texts often emphasize elements such as plot, character development, and setting, and they are intended to evoke thought, emotion, or aesthetic appreciation from the reader. Examples of literary texts include novels, short stories, poetry, drama, and essays. They are distinct from non-literary texts, which are more focused on conveying factual information or practical instructions. Writing or selecting a text depends on one's purpose because different types of text serve different objectives. Understanding the purpose behind the text helps the writer or reader make informed decisions about how to convey or interpret the information. And we have to take note that the three main purposes for writing or selecting a text are to inform, persuade, or entertain. To inform. If the purpose is to provide factual information or explain something, the text will typically be expository or informative. Examples include news articles, essays, reports, and textbooks. Example is when you are writing a research paper to share knowledge on climate change. To persuade. When the goal is to convince or influence the audience's beliefs, actions, or opinions, the text is usually argumentative or persuasive. Examples include editorials, advertisements, and speeches. Example is when you are creating a campaign ad encouraging people to vote. To entertain. If the aim is to amuse or engage the reader emotionally, the text will often be narrative or creative, such as stories, poems, and plays. Example is when you are writing a short story to entertain readers with a compelling plot. Here is a list of text types based on meaning and purpose, categorized as persuasive, informative, or entertaining, in which some may overlap. Number 1. Short story or maikling kwento. It is a brief fictional narrative that typically focuses on a single incident, character, or theme. It usually includes a plot, conflict, and resolution, providing a complete story in a concise format. The purpose is to entertain and sometimes to inform or persuade through themes and morals. Ibibigay kong halimbawa yung mga short stories na na-discuss na natin sa previous videos, and we will determine its purpose. First is How My Brother Leon Brought Home a Wife, written by Manuel Argilia. The purpose of this story is to entertain. It is a narrative that revolves around the Filipino rural experience, exploring themes of love, family, and acceptance. The vivid descriptions of provincial life and the emotional journey of the characters are designed to evoke interest and enjoyment in the reader, making it primarily entertaining. Next is The Scent of Apples by Bienvenido and Santos. Its purpose is to inform and entertain. While the story entertains through its moving portrayal of a Filipino immigrant's longing for home, it also informs readers about the feelings of isolation, cultural displacement, and the immigrant experience, particularly for Filipinos living in the U.S. Lastly, We Filipinos Are Mild Drinkers by Alejandro R. Roses. Its purpose is to entertain. This humorous story uses satire and lightheartedness to depict a Filipino's encounter with American soldier and his drinking habits. The amusing misunderstandings and the playful tone make it primarily an entertaining piece. Next is Legend or Alamat. It is a traditional story or narrative passed down through generations, often with historical or moral significance. Its purpose is to inform about cultural heritage and to entertain, sometimes to persuade by highlighting values or lessons. Here are two of well-known Filipino legends. Legend of Si Malakas at Si Maganda. This is a well-known Philippine creation myth that tells how the first man, Malakas, meaning strong, and the first woman, Maganda, meaning beautiful, were born from a bamboo stalk. According to the story, the bamboo split open, revealing Malakas and Maganda, who became the ancestors of the Filipino people. The legend is often interpreted as symbolizing the strength and beauty of Filipinos. The purpose of this legend is to inform and entertain. To inform, it gives a cultural explanation of how the first humans came into existence, serving as a creation myth for the Filipino people. Like many myths, it provides a story that attempts to explain the origins of humanity and society. To entertain, the story is captivating and imaginative, meant to engage the audience with a memorable narrative about the origins of man and woman. Next is Alamat ng Piña, or The Legend of the Pineapple. The story of Alamat ng Piña tells of a lazy girl named Pina who refused to help her mother with household chores. Her mother wished that Pina had many eyes so she could easily find things instead of complaining. One day, Pina disappeared, and in her place grew a strange fruit with many eyes, the pineapple. This fruit became a reminder of her mother's wish. The purpose of this legend is mainly to persuade and to entertain. To persuade. It is a cautionary tale meant to persuade children to be helpful and obedient to their parents. The moral lesson is that laziness and disobedience have consequences. To entertain. The imaginative and engaging story of how a fruit came to have eyes captures the interest of the audience, making it an entertaining folktale. Autobiography or talambuhay. It is a self-written account of an individual's life, detailing personal experiences, thoughts, and reflections from their own perspective. Unlike a biography, which is written by someone else, an autobiography provides insight into the author's inner life, motivations, and the events that shape their identity and beliefs. Its purpose is to inform and reflect on the author's personal experiences, may also entertain depending on the writing style. One well-known example of a Filipino autobiography is America is in the Heart by Carlos Bulosan. This autobiographical novel by Carlos Bulosan, a Filipino migrant worker and writer, chronicles his journey from the Philippines to the United States. The book provides a detailed account of his struggles with poverty, discrimination, and labor exploitation as a Filipino immigrant. It reflects his personal experiences growing up in a rural village in the Philippines and the harsh realities he faced as he sought a better life in America. Bulosan's autobiography not only tells his individual story, but also sheds light on the broader experience of Filipino migrant workers and their contributions to American society. Although it is presented as a novel, it is based on Bulosan's own life, making it an autobiographical account. The primary purpose of America is in the Heart is to inform and persuade. To inform. Bulosan's autobiographical novel sheds light on the struggles of Filipino immigrants in the United States, highlighting the harsh realities of racism, labor exploitation, and poverty. It gives readers a detailed, first-hand account of the Filipino migrant experience during the early 20th century, particularly the hardships faced by farm workers and laborers. To persuade. Bulosan also uses his story to advocate for social justice, equality, and the rights of migrant workers. Through his experiences, he seeks to raise awareness of the injustices faced by Filipino immigrants and persuade readers to reflect on these issues, pushing for a more equitable society. Poetry. Literary work that expresses ideas, feelings, or stories in a rhythmic and often metaphorical way. Its purpose is to entertain, evoke emotion, and sometimes persuade or inform, depending on the theme. Here are some examples of poems written by Filipino writers. The poem I Am a Filipino by Melvin Bangolay expresses pride in Filipino identity, heritage, and values. It emphasizes patriotism, resilience, and the rich cultural history of the Filipino people, while also addressing the challenges and struggles the nation has faced. The primary purpose of this poem is to persuade. The poem seeks to inspire a sense of patriotism and national pride in its readers, encouraging Filipinos to be proud of their identity, history, and culture. It persuades the audience to reflect on their responsibilities as Filipinos, especially in terms of preserving their heritage, upholding their values, and contributing to the nation's progress. Another sample poem is The Philippines, the Place You'd Love to Be by Georgia Liana Benedictos. This poem celebrates the beauty and allure of a peaceful, idyllic setting. It paints a vivid picture of a serene environment, often interpreted as a reflection of one's inner peace or a place of refuge away from the chaos of daily life. The poem invites the reader to imagine a calm and fulfilling space, possibly a metaphor for an ideal state of mind or a natural physical place that brings comfort and joy. The purpose of the poem is to entertain. The poem is primarily written to evoke pleasant emotions and create imagery that brings delight and comfort to the reader. It engages the reader's senses and imagination, offering an escape to a place that feels inviting and restful. Fable or Pabula. It is a short story that features animals or inanimate objects with human traits and conveys a moral lesson or teaching. Fables are often simple and straightforward, making them easy to understand and remember. The purpose of this is to entertain and persuade through moral teachings. The Monkey and the Turtle, or Ang Pagong at Ang Matching, is one of the most well-known Filipino fables. In this story, a monkey and a turtle find a banana tree. They decide to split the tree. The monkey takes the top part while the turtle takes the roots. The monkey, greedy as he is, believes he will get the better half, but his part withers and dies, while the turtle's part grows and bears fruit. The monkey tries to steal the bananas from the turtle, but the clever turtle sets a trap. Ultimately, the fable highlights the monkey's greed and the turtle's wisdom. Moral: greed and selfishness lead to one's downfall, while patience and cleverness triumph. The primary purpose of the Monkey and the Turtle fable is to entertain and inform. To entertain, The fable uses amusing animal characters such as the cunning turtle and the greedy monkey to create a playful and enjoyable story. The humor in the monkey's downfall and the cleverness of the turtle adds entertainment value for readers, especially children. To inform, the story also conveys a moral lesson about the consequences of greed and selfishness, as well as the value of wisdom and patience. It teaches readers, especially children, the importance of making fair decisions and thinking wisely. Myth. It is a traditional story or legend that explains the beliefs, values, customs, or natural phenomena of a culture. Myths often involve supernatural beings, deities, heroes, and fantastical events, serving to convey moral lessons, cultural truths, or explanations for the origins of the world and humanity. Its purpose is to inform about cultural beliefs and to entertain, often conveying moral or philosophical messages. A famous Philippine mythology story is The Creation of the World, from the Tagalog people. Here's a summary of the myth and its purpose. In the beginning, there was only Bathala, the supreme god, along with the sea ruled by the god Aman Sinaya, and the sky ruled by Araw, the sun god. The sky and sea were constantly in conflict. Aman Sinaya would send waves to crash into the sky, and Bathala would retaliate by throwing mountains and islands into the sea. One day, the battle caused the creation of the Philippine Islands. Bathala planted trees on these islands, and Aman Sinaya filled the seas with fish. As time passed, peace returned, and Bathala created human beings to live on the islands. Thus, the world came into being. The purpose of this creation myth is largely to inform. It aims to explain the origin of the world, particularly the Philippine archipelago, and the relationship between natural elements like the sky, sea, and land. Like many creation myths across cultures, it serves to give early societies a framework to understand the formation of their environment. While the story is also entertaining with its vivid descriptions of gods battling and shaping the world, its primary goal is to offer an explanation for natural phenomena like the existence of islands and their inhabitants. This form of storytelling helps people make sense of their world, making the myth informative in nature. Drama. It is a genre of literature and performance that tells a story through dialogue and action. It is primarily intended for theatrical performance, where actors portray characters and enact scenes in front of an audience. Drama encompasses a wide range of styles and forms, including plays, screenplays, and television scripts. Its purpose is to entertain and sometimes persuade by provoking thought or reflection on human behavior and society. A famous Philippine drama is Florante at Laura, written by Francisco Balagtas in 1838. It is a well-known piece of literature and is considered one of the greatest works in Filipino literary history. The story is set in the kingdom of Albania and revolves around Florante, a noble prince, and his love for Laura, the daughter of King Linceo. Florante, a great warrior, is captured and tied to a tree in a dark forest after being betrayed by his enemies, led by Adolfo, his once trusted friend. While tied up, Florante reflects on his past, the injustices he suffered, and the betrayal of Adolfo, who not only took control of Albania but also tried to win Laura's love. The purpose of Florante at Laura is persuasion and entertainment. It serves to persuade readers or audiences to reflect on societal issues, particularly on themes of justice, patriotism, and the morality of leadership. Through the allegory of the struggles in Albania, Balagtas indirectly criticized the Spanish colonization of the Philippines and the injustices suffered by Filipinos under colonial rule. By presenting themes of oppression, betrayal, and the fight for freedom, it aimed to persuade the audience to consider the importance of good governance and moral leadership. At the same time, it entertains through its poetic language, dramatic plot twists, and the emotional journeys of its characters, making it not just a piece of political and social commentary, but also a compelling story of love and conflict. Speech or talumpati. It is a formal or informal verbal presentation delivered to an audience. Speeches can vary widely in style, content, and format, depending on the context and objectives of the speaker. They are commonly used in various settings including public events, ceremonies, academic settings, and business meetings. Its purpose is to inform, persuade, or inspire the audience depending on the subject matter. Journal. It is a personal record or account of thoughts, experiences, reflections, and observations, typically written on a regular basis. The terms journal and diary are often used interchangeably, but they have distinct purposes and styles. A journal, as compared to a diary, can serve a broader purpose. In addition to recording events, it is often used for reflection, creative writing, goal setting, or exploring specific topics. Example, travel journals or art journals. They can be physical notebooks or digital platforms. Its purpose is primarily to inform, for self-reflection, or entertain if shared with others. Blog. It is a type of website or online platform where individuals or groups regularly publish content, often in the form of articles or posts. Blogs can cover a wide range of topics, from personal experiences and hobbies to professional insights and industry news. A blog is primarily written content, consisting of text-based posts on various topics, often accompanied by images, while a vlog is video-based content where the creator discusses or shares experiences on camera. Its purpose is to inform, entertain, or persuade, depending on the topic and style. A well-known example of a Philippine blog is The Poor Traveler, a popular travel blog by Vince Carlos and Josh Dimon. It focuses on budget travel tips and personal experiences exploring the Philippines and other destinations. Sample blog post. Title: 7 budget-friendly destinations in the Philippines for first-time travelers. The purpose of this blog post is primarily to inform and entertain. It provides useful information to travelers, especially those on a budget, by suggesting affordable destinations and practical tips. The blog is informative, offering real-life travel experiences, insights, and advice for those who want to explore the Philippines without spending too much. Additionally, it entertains readers with its engaging storytelling, making travel seem exciting and accessible for everyone. The light and casual tone of the writing also makes the information easy and fun to read. News articles. It is a written report that provides information about current events, developments, or issues of public interest. It is typically published in newspapers, magazines, or online news platforms, and is structured to convey factual information clearly and concisely. The primary purpose of news articles is to inform the public about significant events, trends, or issues, enabling readers to stay informed and make decisions based on accurate and timely information. Editorial. It is a type of article found in newspapers, magazines, or other media outlets that presents the opinion or viewpoint of the publication's editorial board or an individual editor on a specific issue. It typically addresses current events, societal issues, or topics of public interest. The purpose of this is to persuade by presenting opinions and arguments on a particular issue. Essay or sanaysay. It is a short piece of writing that presents the author's argument, perspective, or reflection on a specific topic. It is a structured form of writing, typically composed of an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Its purpose is to inform or persuade, depending on the argumentative or reflective nature of the essay. Screenplay. It is a written work that serves as the blueprint for a film, television show, or other visual media. It outlines the story, characters, dialogue, and actions that will be depicted on screen. Screenplays are essential for filmmakers, providing a structured format that guides the production process, including casting, filming, and editing. Its purpose is to entertain by bringing stories to life on screen. Advertising campaign. It is a coordinated series of promotional messages and activities designed to promote a product, service, or brand to a target audience. These campaigns utilize various media channels and marketing strategies to effectively reach consumers and achieve specific business objectives, such as increasing sales, raising brand awareness, or launching a new product. Its purpose is to persuade and inform consumers to purchase or support a product or service. An example of an advertising campaign is Jollibee's Kwentong Jollibee. Jollibee's viral video series Kwentong Jollibee tells heartwarming stories that often reflect Filipino values of family, love, and friendship. These ads resonate deeply with Filipino audiences using relatable narratives. The primary purpose of Jollibee's Kwentong Jollibee series is to entertain, but it also includes elements of persuasion. The series tells heartwarming, relatable stories that often center around love, family, and friendships, while subtly featuring Jollibee products. Through emotional storytelling, it connects with the audience on a deeper level, creating positive associations with the brand. The entertaining narratives help build brand loyalty, while the underlying message persuades viewers to associate Jollibee with meaningful moments in their lives. Letters or liham. It is a written form of communication addressed to a specific person or group. It is typically composed in a structured format and can be delivered by hand, mail, or electronically, such as through email. Its purpose can be to inform, persuade, or entertain depending on the context and relationship of the parties involved. A formal letter sent to a government office would be informative or persuasive, while a birthday letter to a friend could be entertaining or sentimental. The relationship between the sender and the recipient also influences the purpose. For instance, letters between business partners may focus on informing or persuading, while letters between close friends or romantic partners might focus on entertaining or expressing emotions. Diary entries. It is a personal daily records where individuals write about their thoughts, experiences, feelings, and events that occur in their lives. Typically written in a private, reflective style, diary entries provide a space for individuals to express themselves freely without the expectation of an audience. Each entry is often dated and written in the first person, documenting personal moments, observations, or emotions. Its purpose is to inform, for self-reflection, and sometimes entertain if shared with others. Posters. They are printed visuals designed for public display, often incorporating text and images to convey information, promote events, advertise products, or communicate messages to a specific audience. They are designed to inform, persuade, or motivate audiences through visual storytelling. They are effective tools for communication, often used in marketing campaigns, educational settings, public health initiatives, and community events. Here is a sample poster that informs us or gives us idea as to what happened on February 25 during the EDSA People Power Revolution. Another sample is this one, persuading or convincing us to take part in saving the earth.
So did you learn something today? Sure ako na hindi ka na nosebleed. If you want more of this video tutorial and learn English in a light speed, huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at i-turn on ang notification button para updated ka sa mga bagong lessons. Ako ang teacher mo, ang English teacher ni Juan. Class dismissed!